Love your art, poor as it may be, which you have learned, and be content with it, and pass through the rest of life like one who has entrusted to the gods with his whole soul and all that he has, making yourself neither the tyrant nor the slave of any man. By Marcus Aurelius. Love your art, poor as it may be. I have never regretted following this precept, despite the fact that it was sometimes difficult to make ends meet as a writer. The gift for putting together words and sentences to make stories or poems or essays has carried me through life with a certain serenity and inner harmony which could not have come from any unloved vocation. Within my own art, I think I have known my limitations and worked within them, thus sparing myself the bitter disappointment that comes to those whose ambitions stretch far beyond their talents. To know one's limitation and to do good work within them, more is achieved that way than by overreaching oneself. It is no use trying to write a masterpiece every year if you are so made as to write only 1 in 10 or 20. In between, there are other good things that can be written, smaller things but satisfying in their own way. Do what you know best and do it well. Act impeccably. Everything will then fall into place. I was looking for an example to try and illustrate this precept and came upon it some 20 years ago in the persons of Mehboob Khan and Ramji Mal, stonemasons who were engaged in restoring Shah Jahan's Hall of Mirrors in the Agra fort. They had been at work for nearly a decade, slowly but deftly bringing their epic task to completion. The restoration work was so intricate that these two skilled craftsmen could restore only about 6 inches in a day. In recreating the original stucco work on walls and ceiling, everything had to be done impeccably. Millions of pieces of tiny mirrors and colored glass had to find their exact place in order to reflect just the right amount of light and at the same time conform to a certain pattern. It was a small art, theirs, but it required infinite patience, skill, and dedication. No fame for them, no great material reward. Their greatest reward came from the very act of taking pains in the pursuit of perfection. Surely they must have been happy or at least contented men. In truth, I have yet to meet a neurotic carpenter or stonemason or clay worker or bangle maker or master craftsmen of any kind. Those who work with wood or stone or glass, those who fashion beautiful things with their hands, are usually well-balanced people. Working with the hands is in itself a therapy. Those of us who work with our minds, composers or artists or writers, must try to emulate these craftsmen's methods, paying attention to every detail and working with loving care. Because I have loved my art, I think I have been able to pass through life without being any man's slave or tyrant. I doubt I have ever written a story or essay or work-a-day article unless I have really wanted to write it. And in this way, I have probably suffered materially because I have never attempted a blockbuster of a novel or a biography of a celebrity or a soap opera. But in the end, things have worked out well. I am a writer without regrets, and that is no small achievement.